Hello, everybody. Hello, our opponent, Danny Trioxin. Is it Trioxin or Trioxin? We're in the last match for this week for Travis Plays the Premades, week 2 of the series. We did Fireworks the first week. Control Center is our deck this week, and there should be an index card up in the upper right you can click on to go through our deck introduction that we did earlier this week, if you'd like. Remember to like the videos, it really helps us out, especially, just like, it doesn't matter if you like the last video. We need you to like every video. We need our dedicated viewers to help us out. Let's see. Do we want to foretell? Yeah, let's foretell. We don't have a counterspell. We want to save Tazim for the kicker cost if we can. And he's got too many cards for us to really rely on Elderfang Disciple. A lot of people love to do Elderfang Disciple the very first chance they get. I kind of want them to get rid of some stuff like that. Okay, now we'll do it. Hopefully we have a more difficult choice for them to make on what to get rid of. Dumping a Revitalize isn't the worst thing in the world. But maybe if they got something good from that. They got rid of Sanctify. Okay. I don't know that we really have any artifacts or enchantments. That may have been a better deal for them to lose that. Okay, do we want to take those kind of poundings? Let's give it a turn. Let's see what they're going to do. Celestial Unicorn. Okay, you can die. We're going to take the land. My turn, my turn, my turn. I know, I shouldn't play that on my turn. I think I said that at the beginning of the week. I could have waited. A flyer with lifelink. That could be handy. He's got enough mana now to pump up Cleric class, so let's take away the lifelink pumping up ability, shall we? He's not playing green, so I don't have to worry about devouring tendrils. He might have Pacify, but I don't care if he pacifies my Mind Flayer. And I don't care if he hits me for 4 right now. I do kind of care that all that I'm getting is land, but I guess I'll go ahead and take the kicker. Bring back the only thing that's valid. And we'll go ahead and attack with you. The problem is I don't have white mana, so I can't use the lifelink ability myself. But at least we took it away from them, so they can't continually use that to pump everything up with Cleric class. Sometimes depriving an enemy of their ability does you better than taking advantage of it for yourself. So we'll make the best of what we have here. What are you holding on to? Get rid of it right now. Get rid of it. Oh yes. All right. I feel good. I feel so good now. So good. So good. Now they could bring it back, right? Which will still give them... Let's see, they get the life and they get the flyer token instantly, right? Which will be problematic for us, but... if we only have to deal with one cleric class for this match, I'm kind of okay with this. Because we can use this now, before they get it. We don't have to wait on that. And let's do it this order. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't kill them all, so make your choice. You've got to leave at least one alive. I know you're killing Dragon Turtle. Alright, so if I use this, I still have enough for the counterspell. Scry 2, draw 2. Yep, we'll take them both. Those are good. Next. Let's whittle them away. Really, the most powerful card is Valkyrie Harbinger in their deck, because of all the extra 4/4 tokens it can make. What do we want to do with that? We'll just counter it. Yeah, they've got the cleric class in play, and they've got all these different life gain things, so let's get rid of some stuff now. Let's get rid of you. We'll attack with you. They're just going to pump everything up with the Traveling Minister. You still got a little room to run here, so we're just going to absorb the damage. Three and a 2, and submit 0, and everyone can attack. Still not below 20. How irritating. Congratulations, you're at 0. Got about the same amount of lands that we're dealing with, even though I've been scrying through. But I took all my lands, I didn't ditch any. No blocks. Congratulations, you hit me again. Exile. Okay, we're gonna put you in the graveyard. We'll draw him. We are tapped out. What is that, 16 points of damage? If you had a Doomscar, you might equalize things a little. They didn't. And Mind Flayer was able to get out on the scene, take their creature, and they could not do anything about it. Alright, hang out with me here for just a second. We'll pull up the deck and we'll do a post-game analysis at the end of this week of playing the Control Center deck. Avalanche Collar. I think I already have 4 of those. Alright, I understand that Wizards of the Coast doesn't want to give you, they want to give you a taste, right? So they want to give you some rare cards to play around with, but they didn't want to give us more than one copy of Mind Flayer. But for a deck called the Control Center, I think you should really have 2 copies of Mind Flayer in there. It's tough considering that we won most of our matches this week to say what we would do to mix it. As usual, what we would do is we would finish up the lands. If you've got 4 copies of Clearwater Pathway, put them in so you can take out 3 of these so that you don't have... we didn't have too many issues, but we did have a time where we had just 1 swamp for the longest time, and putting in more dual lands will fix that. So you want to fix your mana first thing with all of these decks, and that's a good enough upgrade to start with. The one where we lost, we went up against a mono-white Angel tribal deck that used enchantments and stuff, and I kind of feel like we need more counter spells. Either that or an extra Mind Flayer. Maybe both. What would we get rid of? You know, the games went on long enough that we were able to get out a lot of these bigger creatures and they weren't removed. Normally I would say remove one of these creatures and go for a counterspell or something, just because we can get overrun ourselves. But you know what? We had a good mix. We had a good run. It's got, you know, 3 flunks, 3 poison the cups. Maybe you don't need 3 skull raids. I'm not sure if the deck calls for that, so maybe you don't need that. Elderfang Disciple, 3 copies might be too much of that. I would definitely get rid of 1 Tazim Royal Mage. As much as if you get 6 mana and you have the time to cast them and you can bring back all the instants and sorceries, you can have access to more removal if you need it. But in my experience, you usually don't have time in a match to get all 3 of them out and to pay afford the kicker cost to maximize efficient use of all of them. So unless you're like dead set on using some very mana efficient party deck that takes advantage of him being a wizard, I would say, yeah, in a case like this, Tazim Royal Mage, a copy of that would be the first one to go. If you have another copy of Mind Flayer, put Mind Flayer in, or put in one other good type of counterspell. That's probably where I'd start. But overall, you know what, did pretty well with it this time around. Where would I rank it? I still enjoy playing the Fireworks deck more, but what's interesting is I enjoy some of these cards on an individual basis. Like, for example, I like the Mind Flayer card. I like Gelatinous Cube a lot. I'm a discard guy myself, so Skull Raid's wonderful for me. The Baleful Mastery I'm learning to appreciate more and more. Even Contact the Other Plane, I really like the artwork on this one. But yeah, this is a good card to have in almost any blue deck that you have. So yeah, there's a lot to enjoy here. There's a lot to like. And speaking of like, don't forget, if you haven't done it yet, like the video, subscribe, and come back next week. We're going to play another one of the pre-made decks and continue on with the series. And hopefully you learned a little bit from this to see, you know, what the weaknesses and strengths of the deck were. We had trouble against an all-flyer deck, and you know, we didn't quite have enough time to get out our big flyers, but even this wouldn't have been enough, I don't think, with the way that we were going up against those angels and that enchantment, where if they lost an angel, we had to sacrifice a creature. But, you know, not every deck can beat everything, right? So, as far as giving us a pre-made deck, they did a fairly good job overall. And although I like the Fireworks deck better, we actually beat it earlier. We beat it with the Control Center deck. So, that's something to think about. All right, I'll leave it there. You guys come back again next week. Find out which pre-made deck we're going to put through its paces next time. Have a good one.